Hi guys, it's Nova here. Welcome to the third installment of Okay, I've got a few topics for you guys today, starting off with Sesame Street. Yes, I'm talking about those adorable little fuckers, Bert and Ernie. If you follow the kind of gay media outlets on social media, you will know that recently a writer, or I should say an ex-writer for Sesame Street, said in an interview that as far as he is concerned, when he was writing for the show, he saw Bert and Ernie as a gay couple. As a gay man himself, he very much saw the characters of Bert and Ernie as himself and his partner at the time. I thought this was an adorable little piece of behind the scenes knowledge. I really liked that it was kind of affirming a lot of the audiences, I should say that the more adult audience of Sesame Street, their ideas that they are a couple. But I mean, just because he was writing them as if they were a couple, guys, this is like a kids TV show. There was never really going to be anything in there to say that they were a couple. I don't know, I think everybody took this and went a little bit crazy with it and ran with it, because this guy doesn't even write for the show anymore. I don't think he created the characters. It was just a point of reference he had whilst he was writing for them. However, I was disappointed to see that Sesame Street have now commented on this idea that Bert and Ernie are a couple, and they have emphatically said they are just good friends. That was kind of a bit sad to see. I don't think there would have been anything wrong with just staying silent on the topic and letting people believe what they wanted to believe. I think it was a bit sad that they felt the need to step in there and squash people's dreams, because at the end of the day, they're just puppets, they're just children's characters. They've never remotely shown romantic interest in each other. If people want to believe that they are a gay couple, what harm is that doing, really? On the topic of television, I believe Netflix is releasing a brand new revamped version of Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Now, as followers of our channel would probably know by now, Olympia is a massive Sabrina fan. This has been a little bit controversial, this whole reboot of the series, in that the original show was so loved by so many people. I think a lot of people are scared that it's going to be getting the new Charmed treatment, which is basically just shitting on the original, copying it, cheapening it. Meh. However, it seems as though this version of Sabrina is going to be very different. I never knew that Sabrina was originally a comic book series, and as far as I can see, this new show is going to be based more closely on the comic book series, which was much darker in tone. And we have now got a full-length trailer for the series, and I'm getting some serious Buffy the Vampire Slayer vibes. It's quite dark. It's definitely not a children's show anymore. I would say it's more kind of young adult. I think it's going to be somewhere in the vein of Buffy, Teen Wolf. I'm getting that, maybe borderline supernatural. I'm thinking that kind of genre, that kind of audience, which I am so here for. Olympia's not decided how she feels about this yet. She wants to reserve judgment until she sees it properly. So I'm sure she's going to be giving you her opinions when it's out. But at the moment, I've got really high hopes. I definitely am looking forward to watching it. I just wanted to touch on a music topic I've been thinking about the last couple of weeks. This has really been playing on my mind in regards to the release of Emenike's debut album. If you haven't heard of Emenike, he is a young, black, gay, British singer, and he is fantastic, amazingly talented. He writes all of his own music as well as music for other people. He produces all of his own music as well as music for other people. He has worked with a long list of A-list celebrities, and a few weeks ago he released his debut album, Language, which was great. However, it hasn't really charted. In fact, I'm not sure it's charted at all. Neither have any of his singles bar one, which kind of just entered the top 100. And this really upsets me. I think we do see this a lot across the spectrum of queer music artists, in that the music is usually great. I mean, hello, they're queer. But it never seems to get the audience attention or the commercial success that I think it deserves. it's very easy as an LGBT person to kind of get lost in this bubble of, well, I hear this music in the gay clubs, I hear Troye Sivan on the radio because that is what you are choosing to listen to. I hear Hayley Kiyoko because I've downloaded her music. It's a different story when you actually look at the charts and you see where these artists are and they just don't do as well as they should. In my head, I feel like Troye Sivan especially should be super successful because he always comes up on my YouTube feeds, he always comes up on my Facebook, he's got like a gazillion Instagram followers. It was only researching for this video did I see that yes, his album has charted fairly well, but none of the singles have really. His one with Ariana Grande didn't even chart. So I was really surprised to see those numbers, and it kind of made me feel differently about Emenike's album because this is a work of art, but I feel like he's not alone in this problem. I do think a big part of this is not only is Emenike a very openly gay man, he's also an openly gay black man. And I don't like to use the race card here, but I don't think British people especially are used to seeing a black artist with such queer sass and feminine attitudes, because he is very unafraid of showing you that he's had his nails shellacked, that he has his winged eyeliner. Like, I love that about him and that's great, but I think the audience of 2018 overall are quite ready for that yet. But then we look at somebody like Troye Sivan, who's probably a little bit more palatable for the average straight listener, visual wise, aesthetic wise, and that's still not doing so well. So I don't know, I think there's a real problem where queer contributions to music at the moment are not getting the attention that they deserve when people realise that the contributors are queer. Because there are a lot of LGBT people that work on music in regards to songwriting and producing, but so long as that song has a nice hetero lead vocalist, I feel like it could do very well. But as soon as you put a queer person in the forefront, suddenly people are scared of it and they don't want to know. I don't know, these are just some ramblings. This is just what's been going around in my mind recently. I think it's really fucked up and kind of sad. I would like to hear what you think about this topic. I just feel like historically queer people have been some of the most creative minds in the world, and I don't know if it's just my taste in music being gay myself, but I do think LGBT people make fantastic music, and it just upsets me when the rest of the world seems to sleep on it. My final topic for this episode is the fact that Drag Race Thailand is finally auditioning for season 2. They're doing an open cast audition, which I think is so cool, and they've done a very nice little video on their social media saying exactly what is required for this entry. One of the things that they say very explicitly in this video is that their show is open to all genders. It's not just some small print, they very explicitly say it in their video, their show is open for all genders. In fact, they have a little dramatization of people auditioning for the show. They have a man and they have a woman, and I think that is so cool. As far as I understand it, Drag Race Thailand has some sort of contract with World of Wonder in that they are allowed to use the name Drag Race, they're allowed to use music, they're allowed to use the concept of the show, and there are probably some things they are not allowed to do, etc, etc. But they very much seem to operate as a completely different entity at the same time. I was very surprised when watching Drag Race Thailand season 1. There weren't anywhere near as many crossovers as I thought there would be with the main season. Maybe there will be with season 2 after the success of season 1, but I thought that was such a lost opportunity. I was expecting to see Pangina or Artaria guest judge on the American Drag Race or vice versa, and it never really happened. So it seems like the two shows really operate differently. However, I said before when watching Drag Race Thailand, there is so much in that show that I think could be pulled and brought into the American show. Most importantly, now that I can see that it's obviously so fundamental to their auditioning process, that it is open to all genders. Fans of Drag Race have been talking about this for a very long time, that drag is universal of gender. You can do drag whether you identify as a man or a woman or somewhere in between. it doesn't matter. Drag is an art form. And Ru has said before that he really sees it as the transformation from a man to a woman and defeating that stereotype that a man must be masculine. It's 2018. People want this. I think it'd be very interesting to see how this works on Drag Race Thailand. I'm not 100% sure if this is how the audition process worked for season 1 of Drag Race Thailand, but we did have a trans queen on that season, so perhaps it was always a thing. But I would like to see if season 2 actually casts a contestant who identifies as a woman. I think that would be a very interesting addition to the franchise. There seem to have been a few trans women that are competed on the American show, but for whatever reason, Ru sees them as kind of the right kind of trans, if you know what I mean. Like, he would never cast Carmen Carrera now, or would never cast Peppermint now that she's got her boobs. Ru has an idea in his head that there is a line with transitioning, and when you cross that line, you're no longer eligible to do drag. I don't know, it's kind of crazy to me, but I'm very excited to see what kind of cast we get on season 2 of Drag Race Thailand. Alright then guys, that is the end of episode 3. I hope you guys liked this. I love reading all of your comments, so please get involved if you agree or disagree with something that I said, particularly the music topic. I really would like to hear your thoughts about that. Please subscribe to our channel, youtube.com/Novympia. Click the subscribe button and click the little bell so you are notified whenever we release a new video. Also, I would love it if you could check out our Patreon. It's patreon.com/Novympia. We upload loads of exclusive goodies for you guys there, so do check it out. Okay guys, I'll speak to you soon. Bye. Shout out to our latest patron, Deborah McPherson. Hi Deborah, thanks for joining us.